Hey, how's everybody doing this afternoon? I want to talk a little bit about EOS and the zero-sum game. And I posted yesterday a video of Peter Schiff in a show that he did with Ivan on Tech. Or maybe it was not Ivan on Tech, it was actually one with Max Kaiser. And at the end of the video, which you can see online, it's Max Kaiser arguing Peter Schiff. There's a number of them, but they're on the stage, and they're arguing. And at the end of this, Peter Schiff goes, "Hey, look," he goes, "when Bitcoin goes to zero, you can all still buy some gold, or you can take some of the money that you've made from Bitcoin and buy some gold. So buy some gold, because when Bitcoin goes to zero, you'll have something to show for it. But if I'm wrong, everybody will still have all their millions of dollars that they have from Bitcoin. So either way, you're not going to lose." What Peter Schiff is basically talking about is he's talking about a zero-sum game, saying that Bitcoin loses, gold wins, or if Bitcoin wins, gold loses. So there's like this offset of, one loses, one doesn't, which shows you the ignorance of people like Peter Schiff as far as these new technologies are concerned. Because companies like EOS, companies like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not zero-sum games. They're not like, if they win, you lose. The technologies behind these companies, the ideas that they're trying to bring forth, are ideas that are not trying to hurt or take away from anybody. They're trying to enhance the world and make the world a better place. So if you're in Bitcoin or if you're in EOS, it's not going to take money away from the US dollar. It's not going to take money away from gold and silver trading. It's not going to take money away from those other investment vehicles. It's going to add to the what's happening in the world today, which is the advancement of technology, which is the advancement of making this a better world, which is never a zero-sum game. The only people that would be detractors of things like Bitcoin or EOS or Ethereum would be people that have some monetary stake or some stake in the way things are done today and just want it to keep going the way it's going. They don't want to move towards the future. Much like a Donald Trump doesn't want to move to the future. He wants to make America the 1950s again instead of the 2030s, which is where we're going. We're not going back to the 1950s. We're going forward to the 2030s. And a lot of things that need to happen, a lot of inclusion in the world, a lot of trying to, make things easier for people to deal around the world. He wants to make more complicated, and so on. So does all these other bankers and other third-party entities. They would like to make the world stay the way it is because they have a financial interest in keeping it the way it is. Whereas companies, newer companies, the companies that are coming, the companies that are being built today on the blockchain, are going to make our world easier and make it more inclusive for more people. So if you live in a third world country where you have no infrastructure, you have abject poverty, you have the inability to start a business, you have the inability to communicate with other people in the world, and you have the inability to move to any place in the world because of immigration and restrictions and laws like that, you are pretty much subject to a pretty bleak future. But with the blockchain, with the ability to move money around, with Bitcoin and other companies like Bitcoin, that will be new emerging companies that will make things easier for people. There is no zero-sum game. There isn't one wins and one loses. Everybody wins. So I've listened to so many of these people like Peter Schiff and people that you have this stuff so ingrained in their brain that they can't ever get it out, won't ever get it out, and don't want to get it out because they don't want to see the world move on to the next phase. When you have people, brilliant minds, that aren't motivated by money, that are more motivated by making things better in the world, knowing that if they do make things better, that not only do they prosper, but a lot of people prosper, versus the system that we're under today where a few people get in control and they use their money to take away from wealth from other people and make the world so that they're in charge, like the people that own the billion-dollar companies that are taking money away from the rest of the world or the rest of the people, and they're hoarding it. And that's the whole Bernie Sanders movement. You know, you got a few billionaires that run the world, and that's why he become popular. And then everybody likes to throw the accusation at him that he's a socialist. It's not a socialist. He's just seeing things for what it is. Just telling you what's going on. You know, you got a bunch of people that are controlling the world that's pretty much robs the wealth of the world and uses it for their own benefit and their own gains. It doesn't give anybody else a chance, and that's all it is. And that's the zero-sum game. We win, you lose. The non-zero-sum game is somebody like EOS that comes along that develops a platform so everybody wins. Everybody wins because they're developing new ways for people that don't have any ability to be part of the world today, part of the internet, part of success, part of growth, part of having an economic future, part of wealth and prosperity. They have no chance today growing up in certain parts of the world. These new technologies are giving them that chance, that opportunity, and we should all be happy about that and not be trying to stop it and running around dogging it and telling everybody it's going to fucking zero. So anyway, EOS, Ethereum, all the companies everybody's pretty familiar with when they watch YouTube channels, they're not zero-sum game companies. They're inclusive, everybody wins companies. And trying to build some sort of consensus and some sort of ideas by using the internet to make the world a better place, which is something nobody should be an object to. Anybody, nobody in politics, nobody in government, and nobody in business should be objecting to trying to make the world a better place, and include people throughout the world. And not think of somebody less because they grew up in Ethiopia instead of growing up in the United States. So that's just a matter of human condition and a matter of human character. And that's probably more of what we're talking about here than actually technology. Because the people that are trying to stop this are the people that just like the world the way it is because they like the control that they have over the world right now. So, like I say, EOS, these companies, they're not zero-sum games. They're inclusive games that are trying to include everybody in the world. And I think that's a good thing. So anyway, I appreciate you watching.